Have you ever wondered why one tiny text, one hey, one heart, one like on your story, one how have you been, can completely destroy weeks of healing? You are finally starting to feel better. You are thinking about them less, sleeping a little better, beginning to imagine a future without them. Then your phone lights up and suddenly you're right back where you started. Why? Because breadcrumbs don't give you closure. They give you hope. And hope is far more addictive than rejection. Here's what most people get wrong. They think they're addicted to the person. They're usually not. They're addicted to possibility. Possibility that maybe this time things will be different. Maybe they've changed. Maybe they finally realize your value. Maybe this text means they want you back. Maybe this is the beginning. Your mind starts writing an entire love story based on a 3-word message. That's what breadcrumbs do. They don't feed the relationship. They feed your imagination. And your imagination almost always gives you more than reality ever does. Think about it. If someone genuinely wanted to build a healthy relationship with you, would they communicate through occasional random texts? Would they disappear for weeks, then suddenly send thinking about you? Would they like your photo, then vanish again? No. Healthy relationships aren't built on confusion. They're built on consistency. Breadcrumbs are different. They're just enough to keep you emotionally invested, but rarely enough to move the relationship forward. It's like drinking salt water. For a moment it feels like relief, but the more you drink, the thirstier you become. That's exactly how breadcrumbs work. Every breadcrumb creates one question. What does this mean? You analyze every word, every emoji, every delay, every punctuation mark. You ask your friends, you ask your therapist, you ask ChatGPT. You replay the conversation 20 times. Meanwhile, the other person may have spent 15 seconds sending the message. You're carrying the emotional weight. They're carrying almost none. That's not a relationship. That's emotional labor. Here's another reason breadcrumbs are so powerful. Your brain loves unpredictable rewards. Imagine a slot machine. If it never paid out, sometimes they say they miss you, sometimes they ignore you. Your nervous system never knows what's coming next. And unpredictability creates obsession. Not love, obsession. That's why so many people mistake emotional addiction for deep love. They're not experiencing intimacy. They're experiencing intermittent reinforcement. One of the most painful realizations in healing is this. Breadcrumbs don't usually keep you because they're satisfying. They keep you because they're incomplete. Breadcrumbs leaves the story unfinished. Your brain desperately wants to finish the story. It wants certainty. It wants answers. It wants resolution. Instead, it gets another breadcrumb, another question, another week of wondering. Imagine reading a novel where every chapter ends in the middle of a sentence. Eventually, you become obsessed with finding out what happens next. Not because it's enjoyable, because your brain hates unfinished stories. Breadcrumb relationships are exactly like that. You're emotionally trapped between what happened and what you hope might happen. That's emotional limbo. And emotional limbo can last months, sometimes years. Here's the truth that changed my own understanding of relationships. People don't usually heal when the breadcrumbs stop. They heal when they stop giving breadcrumbs meaning. That's a huge difference. Someone can still text you, like your photo, watch every story, wish you happy birthday. None of those things automatically mean they want to build a relationship with you. Behavior only matters when it consistently moves toward connection. Consistency tells the truth. Breadcrumbs tell possibilities, and possibilities are incredibly seductive. Let me ask you something. If someone offered you a full meal every day, would you keep celebrating a single cracker? Of course not. But emotionally, that's exactly what many heartbroken people do. They celebrate tiny signs of attention because they've been emotionally starving. When you've been starving, every crumb feels precious, but that doesn't make crumbs nourishing. This is where healing becomes uncomfortable because eventually you have to admit something to yourself. The breadcrumbs weren't keeping you alive. They were keeping you hungry. Read that again. The breadcrumbs weren't keeping you alive. They were keeping you hungry. Healthy love doesn't leave you analyzing. Healthy love doesn't leave you guessing. Healthy love doesn't make you spend every evening wondering whether someone will text. Healthy love creates peace, not chronic uncertainty. And I know what some of you are thinking, but what if they really do love me? Maybe they do. Some genuinely care. Some people genuinely struggle. Some people genuinely have fears that make relationships difficult. I have compassion for that. But compassion should never require you to live in emotional deprivation. Someone can care deeply and still not be capable of giving you the relationship you need. Those are two separate questions. One is is about their feelings, the other is about your life. Your healing depends much more on the second one. The day you stop accepting breadcrumbs, something incredible happens. At first, it feels like loss. Then it feels like withdrawal. Then it feels like loneliness. But if you stay with it, something unexpected appears. Because peace doesn't come from finally getting enough breadcrumbs. Peace comes from no longer needing them. You stop waiting. You stop checking your phone every 5 minutes. You stop creating imaginary futures from tiny interactions. Your attention comes back to your own life, your own goals, your own friendships, your own future. And that's when something beautiful happens. You become emotionally available for someone who's emotionally available. If you'd like my help getting there, I'd love to welcome you into my school community where we meet for live coaching, honest conversations, and support from people who truly understand heartbreak and healing. If you're looking for more personalized guidance, you can also book a one-on-one session with me or connect with me on Pop Call. The links are in my bio. Remember this, breadcrumbs don't prove someone is coming back. Sometimes they simply prove you're still standing at the door. Close the door, turn around, and start walking toward the life that's been waiting for you all along.